Show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We live. We live. Yeah.
Did you ever think that we would be like this? Did you ever think that they would tell we pissed? Did you ever think that we would be in jail? No release, no bond, no bail. Did you ever think we'd be inside a cage, using baby oil bottles and rage? Did you ever think that I would be on trial, looking like a wood tip, black and mild? I used to scheme about how I was gonna take it, have parties at my house, make everyone get naked, then pay some people off, help them see things my way. But now I'm in a prison where I'm the one that's getting.
That's the show, Dennis!
The last 7 days have been totally insane, but we made it. Now buckle up and get ready for the most organic conversation on the internet with your hosts, the Force, the King, the Kamikaze, the Great and Terrible. Up to it, down to it. Pour a glass and talk some trash. Welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a good time tonight right along with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Let's go up to it.
And let's go. Boy, this one's gonna be wild. I can already tell.
What it do?
It's been a long damn
Wow.
2 weeks.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
been a long time.
What happened?
Yeah, it's been a
That was that video was egregious.
Yeah. But no lies was told.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd argue no lies were told.
That's a way to start a show.
Yep. Starting the show the only way that we can. Well, anyway, with that said, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good to know that we can still call you that. No problems, no issues, no concerns. Welcome back to another Friday night. We were closing out the month, closing out the school year in a lot of cases, closing out the season in basketball, opening up new seasons. It's about to go down, man. We about to have a good time tonight. It's a whiskey night, I can already tell. So I'm going to stop yapping without any further ado, man. Let's go ahead and do these introductions and find out what we sipping on. Big shout out to everybody in the comments. Let us know what you sipping on in the comments always. And as always, keep it live in the comments. We're going to definitely holler at you about all of this stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. With that being said, let's move on to this first introduction. Y'all know what it is. It's the immovable force extraordinaire, teacher of the year, teacher of the decade. Y'all know what it is. Give a big shout out, man. What's up, brother? How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Today was graduation day, and so we just, said goodbye to one of the greatest classes of kids I've ever taught in my tenure. So this has been an emotional ride, but you just feel super proud of all the work that they've accomplished and to see it come to its fruition. So in honor of them, we are putting up the 1792 small batch bourbon. And we are drinking it straight. This was actually a gift that was presented to me after our spring concert. So, got to throw it up for them one time in a Honer. And we're also preparing, like you said, extraordinaire to start this president-elect work. So I'll be at a conference at Towson tomorrow, starting to put it together, even though I don't officially take office until July 1. So the work quite literally never ends. So there's water around here somewhere, and it ain't Aquafina. So let us know in the comments what you are drinking, and be ready to take some shots. We want to have a good time. It's a great time to text a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend to pull up on us, and also hit that like and subscribe. Man, we ready for a good show. I've missed you fellas.
Pull up, yo, pull up. I missed y'all too, man. Real talk. Real talk, man.
Ooh, mercy.
Hey, back from hibernation. We're happy to have him back. We had a nice little good time at his expense, but as always, we're looking forward to hearing from the inspirational King Rick. Holla at us, my brother. What's going on, man?
What's good? What's good? Yeah, back from hibernation, but it was for a good cause because last week celebrated the wife and I's 8-year anniversary. So, definitely wasn't any sleep going on there. No, we had a great time. Went to New York and enjoyed ourselves. We did a lot of exercise activities, and it was great, man. We also got to see some museums and whatnot. Big shout out to Clark for hooking us up with the museum tickets, and then big shout out to the random lady who also gave us some free tickets to museums. So it was a good time, man. And then we got on the bikes. If you're ever in New York, definitely get on the electric bikes, not the pedal bikes, the electric bikes. Unless you have your own bike, then you can have a pedal bike. But you get the pedal bikes that now they got like 2 speeds, slow and slower. So get you an electric bike. Anyway, we had a great time, and so it being our 8th year, man, I sat and pondered about that, and I called it the year uh, of infinity. And the reason I called it that is if you turn the 8 sideways, it looks like an infinity sign, and that 8th year is just a symbol of our love being everlasting. It's going to infinity and beyond. And I had a great idea. Like I got a little tattoo design in mind too. We didn't get a chance to get it up in New York, but we go get some matching tattoos. It's a heart, but it's got the infinity sign going through it. And then I'm like kind of get it tilted, put that TH on it so it represents the 8th year celebration, our infinite love. So yeah, we had a great time. Anyway, I'm doing fine like wine and getting better with time. Hopefully I stay awake this time. We'll see. Okay. Because I got something that I'm going to be sipping on tonight that I won through a raffle. Shout out to my cousin, Big Art. What up, cuz? I won a raffle on this bad boy right here. This is Grant's Triple Wood. No, blended Scotch whiskey. Okay, Grant's Triple Wood blended Scotch whiskey. It says matured in 3 different types of wood for a smooth, rich, and mellow taste. Okay, so we cracking that. I'm cracking this open tonight. All right, we gonna have a good time. All right, like my LB said, tell us what you're sipping on. Could be, wine coolers, water, except for Aquafina. But shout out to y'all, and let's have a good time. Here we go.
Matured. Nah. I'm joining them in the whiskey. I'm just keeping it chill
Oh,
tonight. I'm just on the Jimmy Beam. That's it. Nothing major. Jimmy Beam. But it's gonna get us where we need to get. So
It's legit.
it's legit. It's gonna get us where we need to get.
mm-hmm.
Up to it, down to it. Those who don't do it, we do it because we're used to it. So drink. Drink.
On it. Mm.
Mm.
Ah.
How
Big
is
shout out graduation season, man.
how is it, Rick?
Definitely smooth, man. Oh my goodness, like what? That is super smooth. Super smooth. It's got a great taste. Um, yeah. Wow. It tastes like money.
Nah.
Even though I don't really know what money tastes like, but it's got some quality to it. Okay, it's got some super quality. And yes, big shout out to all the graduates, all of them. Okay, all the graduates. Big shout out to y'all. Go out there and do some great things. Okay,
All of them.
yeah, let's make good choices. And go out and do some great things, man. And it doesn't have to be like saving the whole world. Just do something small. Start with yourself. Start with your community. Start somewhere and do some great things.
If I can help somebody.
Even if you
My
just
Lord.
start with one person, you got to start with one person,
Woo!
and then you tell that person to pay it forward, and then that other person pays it forward, and sooner or later, everybody's paying it forward.
And everybody's paying it forward.
Hey, that goes back to my motto: if everybody is giving, then everybody's receiving. So remember to be a giver. Thank you.
That's how you make it 8 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's the answer. That's the answer. Show's over. That's how you make it to 8 years. You be constantly
Yeah.
giving and constantly
If
be
you take a
receiving.
6 and okay, never mind. We're not gonna go down that way. Come on. I was just thinking if you mix the two, like if you, it kind
Yeah.
of resembles
All
like
hell. All hell.
Oh hell.
it kind of
All,
Oh hell
resembles
6ix9ine.
all, all
kind of
hell.
resembles an
All
8
hell.
if you put it together a certain way. It's like an 8 in there, but and it ties into.
Big
It.
shout
All right,
out.
we'll let
Big
them.
shout out to 6ix9ine unions. 6ix9ine unions of infinitive love that are 8 years or more. At least 8 years. At least 8 years. Her favorite number is 8 too. So big shout out to the wife. Her favorite number is 8. So yeah.
That's right.
And big shout out to the 8-year club out here, man. That's what we talking about, dog. We way over the threshold, man. Big shout out to you, my friend. And big shout out to the green users. We didn't shout them out yet. Big shout out to the green users. All right. I'm representing for y'all tonight too. See, we are in the game. All right. So before we get started with the headline stuff, I need a synopsis right now of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Kev, what is going on? So many parallels. I got to hear your take on it, man. What's your thoughts on what's happening right now?
If you had asked me before last night or before Wednesday, I'd have had a good answer for you. After Wednesday, I don't. Wait, no, it wasn't Wednesday. It was last night. I don't know what the hell's going on. What the hell? What the hell, Leonte? What the hell, Barry? What the hell, Bron James? What the hell, Burton? Because what
What the
was
Helly Burton?
what was he doing? To go from a game that puts you in the hallowed record books of the NBA with a 30-point, 15 assists, 10 rebound, 0 turnover game to taking less than 10 shots in the Garden to try to close out is absolutely insane. So of course that has led all of the Twitter gangsters to say that the NBA is rigged. They want to extend this series. Call it what you want. It is hard to play in the Garden. And you knew, when your back is against the wall, you got nothing to lose. So I expected the Knicks to come out guns blazing. It's going to be Indian 6. But none of that matters because whoever comes out the East is finna lose to Oklahoma City real bad. That team is the most unstoppable thing I've seen since I want to say the Dynasty Lakers. And the scariest part is all the players for Oklahoma City are under good contracts, and they got 2 first-round picks. In the next couple of years. So even if they got to move a piece to preserve their cap, they got room to bring in other great things. So that's a scary thought. But it's refreshing. People talk about how like the league loves LeBron and all that, but there's been a different NBA champion every year since like 2017, 2018. So
That is fact, yeah.
the parity that we've wanted to see in the league is here. And it's just great to see a young new set of faces that we're getting to see become budding stars and superstars in front of us. So that's what we're looking at right now. If you are a true fan of basketball, now that these names, that the household names that we're used to hearing, are out of the way, you get a chance to see like who these new kids really are and what they're made of. It's been exciting to watch
The next generation of basketball is right here.
for sure.
That's what's up. That is what's up. Because I don't know none of
Yeah.
them. I'm ready for
About it.
But nah, that's what's up. I actually was gonna put money, and I'm not a betting man like that, but I was gonna put money down on the Knicks and OKC being in the championship. But I didn't.
Good.
I didn't. But this is it. This is that was that. Yeah. The Knicks winning was just interesting. I was like, what? Phew. All right. Well,
Yeah, the
strange.
Knicks are different. Knicks are different right now, man.
You know who
But
different.
you said who?
I mean, if they do make it, I'll be mad as I don't know what. Okay, I'm just saying, if by miracle they win these next two games, I'm going to be super mad because the bet that I was going to place was almost 2 months ago. So
Yeah. Well, don't worry, because it ain't gonna happen the way you was gonna bet.
okay.
Yeah.
I feel
But
confident in your confidence. So
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But if you want to know who different right now, it's Zion Williamson. It has nothing to do with playoff basketball and everything to do with his loins and consent. That's yeah. Yeah. Your boy is down bad.
oh man,
The struggle is real right now, bro.
People, this you can tell there's a generation of people who didn't grow up on Lil Jon's verse of Lovers and Friends. That man gave you a whole song on consent. And the last thing he said was, "Shorty, let me hear you tell me one more time."
One more time.
One more time.
One more time.
And this man's just out here graping, just graping. No grapes.
No grapes.
jeez.
No grapes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Because we have to leave room. We have to leave room for the ones who unfortunately are not telling the truth,
For sure.
right? So
'Cause
allegedly.
Yeah.
Is there nobody out there teaching these young guys to protect their things, man? Protect your things.
When I was in high school, my best friend at the time, his mother, before we went to any party, the last thing she would say to us is, "Keep your banana in the fruit basket," and that message stuck with me so heavily, and then when it's time to peel back the banana, you gotta have permission.
You gotta have permission. You gotta have consent over and over again. You need the express written consent of that woman.
You got to let her start peeling the banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, let her peel the banana back.
And then along the way, you got to be like, "You sure?
Hey, are you sure?
You
Are
okay?
you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you
good?
want
Yeah.
to keep doing this?
Are you sure you want a bite of the banana?
Huh?
Are you
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Are you
Are you
sure
sure we're good?
Yeah. Are you sure you want a fruit salad?
The
Oh,
banana's
boy.
entering the split. You okay?
Yeah.
You all-
You sure we're good still?
okay?
I just
I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're good.
Yeah.
'Cause I know. I want you to know that I know that you know.
Okay.
That I know that you know that I know that you know that you're good.
Here come the toppings.
Yeah.
Whipped cream?
Look, it's bananas chocolate coated.
Hey man.
It's got a little sweet with it, and it's good for your skin. You know.
Just straight like that. Hey, good for you and healthy. We just need to make sure that you are good with what you about to partake in.
And
I
fellas,
saw this post. My fault. What'd you say?
oh, I was just gonna say, and fellas, make sure your banana's not rotten.
I just need these young guys to just do better, man. Do better. You already know. We talked about it before, so I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. But you already come on,
Come on, man.
got to do better.
Make wise choices is what we said.
That's
Choices were made. Choices were made. You know, just allegedly. It's always allegedly.
Allegedly.
So that being said, let's slightly switch gears from the NBA to the WNBA. First, 2 weeks of the season?
For sure.
Lots of stuff going on. We had a big kerfuffle, I suppose, is the best way to put it. A kerfuffle between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and everybody been talking nonstop about that. And you know, the Liberty is out here crushing everybody
As they should.
as they should. And then Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and the revenue of the WNBA is set to, over the next 2 weeks, drop somewhere between 50 and 70%, particularly over the next 2 weeks.
Which is, so I won't say I don't get it, but I mean, it's kind of like, it's why people who like sports are called fans, because they're fanatical. And there in this particular time, there's a difference between Caitlin Clark fans and WNBA fans, and I think more Caitlin Clark fans, which cool, but don't make Caitlin Clark the WNBA, because if you are paying attention to the WNBA, this is premier basketball that we're seeing. Like, what the WNBA does all season is what the NBA does in the playoffs. And that's why I enjoy watching it, because you're seeing, sound basketball. Like, my favorite part of what they're doing right now in the WNBA is those welcome to the W moments, which are like, they're veterans getting it. Like, catching them hard screens, getting, blocked by like the rookie class is playing, and so they're giving veterans welcome to the WNBA moments. And I love, the way that they're highlighting that. So, like, I would like to see people pay attention to the game, because it looks really, really good right now. Not Indiana without Caitlin Clark. It's a little messed up.
Yeah. Well,
I agree.
I'll say that I enjoy a game of women's basketball. As y'all know, on this channel we talk about how great and how fun the WNBA still is. The only thing I can say is, what the WNBA needs to do with Caitlin Clark, they don't need to necessarily do what people allege that the NBA does, and do things to extend games and keep her playoff hopes alive and all that kind of stuff, right? If they can't win, they can't win. Like, it is what it is. But I do think that the WNBA officiating does probably need to be a little bit more balanced. I'm just saying, at least for her. And the reason I'm saying that is because we about to see a league that, quite honestly, needs as much revenue as it can get, about to take a major hit off of this one player. And honestly, like, if there was a such thing as Jordan rules for Caitlin Clark, they probably need to institute some Jordan rules. I'm just saying. Because the thing is, fanatical WNBA fans, there aren't many. Right now, it is the casual fan that's mostly the Caitlin Clark fan, and WNBA right now is finding out that if Caitlin Clark's not there, for the most part, a lot of people are saying no sale, and that's a problem for them. I think that's a problem for them. So they can't risk. They shouldn't risk willfully her getting hurt again. Imagine she goes down again later on this season. What's going to happen to this season's revenue?
I understand it. What I'll say is, like, if they're doing that, which again, this is probably two things are true. Then you slap in the face every other player who is doing what they're supposed to do. Like, and that's why I said, like, the way that they play all season is what you see in the NBA. Like, the NBA in the playoffs is hard fouls, and like, I'm not giving you nothing easy. You got to work for everything. That's a regular WNBA game. Like, they're scratching and clawing and knocking people over. Of course, the media, because they do it with LeBron James. If LeBron James tweets, if he posts, they gonna be like, oh my God, LeBron. Anything that Caitlin Clark does, Caitlin Clark. So the like social side of the sports are shoving what they want us to have down our throats, which is why you got to dig deeper, because like everybody's getting knocked around. Alyssa Thomas is getting knocked around. Asia Wilson is getting knocked around. Nneka Abumike is getting knocked around. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love what the Mystics are doing. Like, Kiki Iriafen came in and was like, I don't care about none of this. I'll knock all this over, and has been. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are dogs every game. So like, I don't want them to feel like they can't do what they do and what got them here for the sake of saving face. But I do understand, like, you got to preserve your cash cow. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's until people get their team that they root for, they're rooting for the person. And so if that person is out, then I mean, yeah. So the WNBA needs to figure out how they can capitalize more and get people to, root for, the home team, or just there, get people like get the fans interested in rooting for the team. Um, and you can still have your favorite player, but just getting them more involved in like that team spirit, like which the NBA already has. Like, I mean, you got people that are diehard for the team, um, and I don't think the WNBA has enough of those yet. They might have some, but they don't have enough of those yet. They need to figure that part out.
Yep. And in the meantime, they're gonna. You gotta preserve your cash cow. Otherwise, if you don't preserve your cash cow, then how everybody got there don't matter, because they're not gonna get nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a unique opportunity, I think the WNBA does, to get more eyes, more endorsements, and to really capitalize on the Caitlin Clark effect, really capitalize on the momentum that the Caitlin Clark effect has had on the league. So I mean, I'm just saying, probably maybe they should call some things a little more down the middle. There's some arguments to be made that there's some hard fouls on Caitlin Clark that aren't called, and there's some ticky tack fouls on Caitlin Clark, like the one to Angel Reese, for example, that was upgraded to a flagrant. I don't think that was a flagrant. I don't think it should have been upgraded to a flagrant, personally. But if you're gonna upgrade that one to a flagrant, then some of these other ones that are no calls, or just regular personal foul calls, I think you can't do that. I think you can't do that. It's got to be even across the board. Otherwise, they might lose out on this so unique opportunity, I think, anyway.
And my last little thing, just to that point, we got to keep in mind the referees are not the same for every game. So
For sure.
A referee that calls it one way for one game, may not be reffing in a game where it gets called or doesn't get called, when it looks similar. So that'll always be the variable. It's like, I always go back to the NBA. If Scott Foster is working a CP3 game, you can guarantee a technical, you know what I'm saying? And most likely, whoever CP3 is playing for, they're going to lose. Like, they've been contentious his entire career. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just every referee looks for different things. Like, and then even before games, and this why I say, like, people got to go learn. Like, the referees don't just show up and like ref what's in front of them. They study tendencies and, you know what I'm saying, of the players that they're about to ref. Like, they got to look at backstories. They got to, you know what I'm saying, they got to know what they're walking into before they do. And the league gives them points of emphasis for seasons, for stretches of seasons, and for specific games. So, there's always variables that are added beyond the players that we see on the court.
Fair enough.
Study to show thyself approved.
Hey, man. Hey. All fair points, man. We'll see what happens. As I always say, I want the WNBA to succeed, and some adjustments need to be made in order to capitalize on their success and have some continued success. So, we'll see what the league office does. We'll see what they do. All right. I'm hoping that I'm not about to get into something that's going to make us have to pull cards out.
They're behind me. They are behind me.
I know it. But let's get right into it. We got through the first 2 points last week on 5 ways to know that you can trust somebody again after they've hurt you. So let's get back into that, and I'll play the whole thing so we can go through we'll be reminded of all 5, and then we'll pick up where we left off at number 3. We're gonna need at least a shot for this one. I'm gonna pour it during the video. Let's get to it.
Signs you can start trusting someone again after they hurt you. Big shout out to @RealDepressionProject on Instagram for the inspiration. Let's break this down, starting with number 1. Let's go up to it. Number 1, they've taken accountability for their actions. They don't deflect responsibility or gaslight you. Instead, they own up to what they've done and face it head on. Accountability is the foundation of rebuilding trust. Number 2, they've changed their behavior. It's not just about words, it's about actions. They're actively working to make sure the past doesn't repeat itself. Growth shows effort, and effort builds trust. Number 3, they're not scared off by your reactions to triggers. Healing takes time, and they get that. They don't dismiss your feelings or run away when you're working through the hurt. They recognize it's a process, and they're willing to walk through it with you. Number 4, they've sincerely apologized. This isn't a quick sorry to brush things off. They understand the depth of the hurt they've caused and genuinely express remorse. You can feel the difference when an apology comes from the heart. Number 5, they connect with your needs. They're not just acting from their own perspective anymore. They've taken the time to understand what you need and are showing up for you in ways that align with that.
Boy, oh boy. Let me go ahead and go up to it on my side. Cheers. Okay, so actually, let's do this way, and we'll go through. Let's start at number 3. Hang on.
You can start trusting someone again after they hurt you. Big shout out to @RealDepressionProject. Number 2, working to make sure the past doesn't repeat itself. Growth shows effort, and effort builds trust. Number 3, they're not scared off by your reactions to triggers. Healing takes time.
This is the one.
They get
this
that.
Number 3.
They don't dismiss your feelings or run away when you're working through the hurt.
All right, so they're not scared off by your reactions to their triggers. They know that healing takes time and recognize that it's a process. Woo! Not scared off by your reaction to the triggers. That says a lot.
it speaks to your tendencies. Um, you know, again, like PTSD is real. I'll start with the joke and then get to the legit stuff. Like my brother tagged me to a post today of this woman who essentially she was making goulash, which that's the formal name for it, but my mother called it chili mac. That's how we grew up. We ain't have a lot. She had 3 kids, single mother, so best stretch meal is anything spaghetti esque. You can get noodles for cheap, little ground beef sauce, and make it work. So like he sent the video. What she made looked absolutely delicious. Like I literally felt sick to my stomach seeing her make it though, because like that's how I grew up. So like it like I can't see it the same as a person who didn't have to experience that. And so like it makes me think of something like this on a more serious note, that yes, the woman made a delicious meal and you can appreciate that. However, the thing, what it looks like doesn't make me feel good. So if if you cheated on your partner and like everything that led up to her finding out you cheated was about baby, I'm staying at work a little late today, or I'm going to the gym with the fellas. Like if you were creating lies that involved, other people and things, if you start doing those things again, that could trigger her to react in that way, because those were the same things you did that led to you cheating the first time. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. If a man gets cheated on and the woman's tendencies that led to it start to appear again, might be I might question you a little more. I might, want to be around you a little more. Hey, where you going? All right, well, I'm gonna come with you. Like, so those feelings may exist just because your patterns look too close to what you took me through before. So like you as the offender have to like create a level of comfort in that process. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like babysitting or whatever, but you did wrong. So maybe while you're doing those things, you check in a little more frequently. Hey babe, just want you to know I'm thinking about you. Maybe that's a FaceTime instead of a phone call. Hey, this is, who I'm with, this is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you do share your location with your person so that they like something that creates a level of comfort for them to ease them through the things that got you to that point.
Word. It's in that location.
If it's all right, let me respond to the not scared off by your reactions to the triggers, right? Because you're right, people will have those triggers, and when I read that or hear that, they're not scared off by your reactions to the triggers, because some people will hear something and then they'll take offense, even though it's not even about them. They make it about them, and then they run off, or they're not ready to handle that trigger, that whatever is making you know the person upset, and they just don't want to deal with it. And so, hey, that is what it is. Take it for what it is, and you know what you know now. But for somebody that is ready to understand where you're coming from and be there for that part of the healing process, for that part of, like it says, knowing that it takes time, to be like, okay, let me understand what you're going through. Okay, I get it. Let me understand what was the trigger, this, that, and the third. I think that is a level of patience, a level of like, I'm showing you that I'm going to work through this with you, so that you can so that we can start to build this trust back. That is somebody that you definitely want to keep around. Now, what I was going to get into in the beginning was that's if that, and I'm going to say it this way, that's if that trigger is genuine and warranted. And I know it's going to sound messed up for those that get triggered, or for those,
Trigger them.
but what I'm saying is, sometimes you do have people that have a trigger for something that's not even warranted or that had nothing to do with that person. But that person is now at fault. And it could be the person, it could be that person that was at fault in the beginning. And because of their narcissistic ways or whatever, right? They're now still putting blame on somebody else instead of actually really healing and really dealing with the things inside. And so that's when I say like warranted or a true uh trigger. And that's the only part of this that I would take issue with is if it's not like I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on. Because that was never even my fault. Like are you projecting now? Is this one of those triggers that's projecting something that wasn't even on me? Like you used to have to deal with this. Um, so that's the only thing that would give me pause there. But I do understand that triggers do happen, and if somebody is really in your corner, they will have the patience to be there. Um, as you navigate the healing process, if you are in fact navigating that healing process and not just staying in that funk. Oof. Get out that funk.
Give me that phone.
I thought you was going to. I thought you was going to keep going. I thought you was ready to keep going. I was ready. um, I don't really have much to add to that. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that you know it's important, of course, to. I guess okay. All right. Here's what I'll add. It's important to still heal from your triggers, right? So yes, of course, you may have them, and you may have some things that happen that trigger a thought or trigger whatever it is, right? But are you working through it like that? Kind of to your point, Rich. Like, are you actively working through it? Are you communicating how you feel or how certain triggers, how certain things or certain behaviors may trigger a thought or whatever it is? Are you communicating those things? And then if you're communicating those things, are they receptive? Are you the other party, whoever the other party is, are they receptive to what you're communicating, right? I think that's kind of I would say in this instance, that would be the kind of the litmus test, right? If I have a trigger, cool. I need to be able to address it, talk about it, and be able to move forward or on from it, right? I can't just wallow in it. So, and also, I think in order to do that, you'd have to communicate with the person that you're, triggered by, or the person that's going to experience your triggers. You got to communicate that with them, right? If you don't, then yeah, they're gonna get scared off by your triggers. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Now, of course, if you're the one, you're the offending party, right? Then if you want this relationship to work, if you want it to continue, then I mean, you're gonna have to fight through it, right? But again, also that doesn't give the offended party a license to hold on to it forever. Like at some point, you still have to be able to move forward. We can't do anything if we can't move forward. At some point, we got to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Like some things is like they're hard to recover from, but damn, we got to move forward. We still got to move forward somehow, man.
So
We can't
this
sit here.
so this word reactions, right, to the triggers is what is, in the quotations. It's like, is it fair that the reaction to the triggers stays the same? And then that person is supposed to uh, uh, accept those reactions each and every time. Like if it's because some triggers, they when that person gets triggered, it's a uh it could be a wild reaction, could be a reaction that is physical, and is it fair that that person not get scared off when that reaction to the triggers remains the same each and every time? It's like, how much do you put up with that? If Because it says healing, healing takes time, absolutely. But if you are in the process of healing, that means those reactions to the triggers, in my opinion, should be changing.
That's
You know,
right.
And
Yeah.
I'm with y'all. Just on because of course this is, I'll say this, this post is about like us as the offended person. Um, so I'd like, and I think a lot about my female friends, like who are dating right now. I think as men, so if we are as men, if we're the offenders, well, really anybody, I think it's helpful to the person in their healing process for us to be proactive. Um, small scale, like my friends who are dating right now seem to always have an issue with men's communication. Um, and they're like, and they're pretty much saying the same thing. Like, damn, I'm not even asking for all of your time, but like, if you're busy, like just like let me know what's going on with you, as opposed to not saying nothing at all. And like, I think that's a proactive approach. Hey, I got like back to back meetings at work. We're getting ready for a big presentation for blah 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 blah. Or a day like today for me, it's graduation. I'm gonna be, what I'm saying, here, and here. So, like you might not hear from me as much as usual. Or, what I'm saying, like stuff that goes a little deeper. Around Mother's Day, I ain't really want to talk to nobody. So like it was just, hey, I'm not really like up for much conversation. I just need some time, need some space. Like proactive communication helps the person on the other end to, what I'm saying, work through their stuff. So like, even for us, and again, I talk a lot about tendency. So if what I'm saying, like y'all know y'all wise. So if you watch them do, what I'm saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 every day, and then all of a sudden 5 happens before 1, 2, 3, and 4, what I'm saying, while to a normal person on the outside that may not seem like a big thing, you may say, hey babe, I noticed, today you were a little whatever. I just want you to know that I noticed you. If there's anything you want to talk about, we can talk about it. Like catching those things, being proactive helps the person in their healing process. So I think that's an approach we can take to, alleviate some of those reactions that happen.
I will say that in that instance, in the dating realm, communication is the key. Without it, all things will fail. So I would hope that your expectations of communication would have been communicated that, hey, this is how I receive communication, or this is how I would like to, or this is my expectation of, or when I am, and I guess that's part of the vetting process as well, because that's through questions you can find out how that person uh, communicates, how that person, is that person a big communicator? Like, so for if you're in the dating realm, a guy or a girl used to being single, right? But we all know that guys and like male and females communicate differently, right? Communicate super differently. I can go 5 years and I'ma still greet my LB the same way. Like, there's not gonna be any type of like emotion or anything there. Like, I'm just saying, like, but that's the type of communication that we have. It's like, we'd be like, oh, what's so great? It's gonna be like the same. Whereas that would be different for somebody that has a different communication style. But I mean, that's the communication that we have, it's like there's no love lost, there's no woo woo woo. But for a female, it might be different, right? For a female, or just for somebody in general that needs that type of communication, needs that, they need that, hey, check in, or hey, let me know when you get there, let me know where you're going, let me know blah blah blah, let me blah blah blah, but I'm just saying, not to say that they haven't communicated that. I'm just saying, once that has been communicated, and once you are, say, if you're putting forth the effort to say, this is what I need in order to feel, and that need is not being fulfilled, then you need to go ahead and make some decisions here. What we say, make what? Wise choices. So I'm just saying, if it's been communicated, this is the need. This is for me to feel. And that's not being, then chances are they don't feel that same level. They're not on that level. Chances are, if it's been communicated, then
Yep.
chances are they don't feel the same way for you as they do, or as you do for them. Chances are they're not on that level with you. And then another talk needs to happen. Because I totally understand triggers. And again, yes, I think, for the most part, guys' communications are like trash. However, I think that when a man like knows, right, and like truly cares, you're gonna know. He's gonna be like hitting your phone up, checking in, all of that. But however, I think that there is a comfortable zone where it's like, all right, well, if this hasn't been communicated, this is me. Like, I go boom, 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 boom. I want to get this done, get that done, and then I'm racing to get home to you. But I'm racing to get home to you, and you were expecting a text, a call, and where did I end up, and how did this and that, and if it was never communicated, now I'm confused because I just did all of this, fought through the whole day to get home to you, while we're dating, right? And you are giving me like this beef, and now I don't even know where it's coming from. So that's why I say, like, communication is the key. Without it, all things will fail. That's all.
No, great point. Great point. Let's leave it there. Let's move on to number 4.
Recognize it's a process, and they're willing to walk through it with you. Number 4, they've sincerely apologized. This isn't a quick sorry to brush things off. They understand the depth of the hurt they've caused and genuinely express remorse. You can feel the difference when an apology comes from the heart.
All right, let's back that up real quick. Okay. They've apologized sincerely and fully understand the extent of the hurt that they've caused. I think this is important because we all know how those brush off apologies are, right?
Sorry you feel that way.
Yeah. I'm sorry you feel that way. And I ain't gonna lie. Look, I was good for giving those apologies. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I still am sometimes.
Sorry. Sorry if I made you feel, no, nigga. I literally said this is not. What you mean if I made you feel like that's what I said?
Yep. I definitely would just drop the if now. Like, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That wasn't my intent. Kind of leave it at that. That's where I'm at now, right? But I certainly was good before for being like, yeah, well, I'm sorry your feelings were hurt. But that's not helpful on the other side. And I think that when you have gone through your healing process, that not only will you not accept it, you also won't deliver a message like that either, right? You'll change how that delivery is. And don't get me wrong, this is coming from me as somebody who does not and will not apologize for something that I did not do, right? And that's what it is. But also, I can understand and appreciate that sometimes what I'm not intending to do, somebody else still feels, right? And so that's healed Trey being able to say, all right, cool. Well, I'm sorry that hurt your feelings. I wasn't that wasn't my intent. I hope you forgive me. But please also understand that was not what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to, I wasn't trying to be or make you feel a certain way, right? But again, that's come with some growth and some healing and so on and so forth. But like I said, I was definitely good for those brush off apologies, and at the same time, I never liked. I'm not gonna say I never liked. I always could tell when someone was giving me a brush off apology too. You know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't like them, so I also stopped giving them out. It's part of the healing process.
And I think that knowing the extent part is what I think leads to the changed behavior. Because it's like it's one thing to like know that you've wronged somebody, but to like see how badly it affects them. You know what I'm saying? Like to be in close proximity to your wrongdoing, and like you see how it shifts a person depending on what your offense is. So I think like once I never get them right. Empathize, sympathize with the position that you put the person in. And I, as one of the therapy, practices, it's, putting yourself in the person's shoes. Well, how would I feel if, what I'm saying, so and so forgot my birthday? How would I feel if, they made plans and I canceled them at the last minute? Like how, so when you can put yourself in that person's shoes and take in that feeling, then you do start to understand the extent to which you hurt somebody, and not just seeing that you hurt somebody. So I think understanding the extent then leads to, or should lead to, a more like concerted effort to change the behavior.
Yeah, that's the empathy part. That's the empathy part. It's in empathy is understanding the other person's like feelings. I was thinking perspective, because sometimes you could do something, and to one person, it's hee hee ha ha, great joke, and to the other person, their feelings are hurt, right? And so the empathy part of it is, again, it's understanding and seeing from that person's perspective, where the sympathy part of it would be like, um sorry you feel that way. That's the, oh, you feel that way, hey man, I'm sorry you feel that way. And so I guess I still battle this, and I'm gonna be honest, because I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with feel. Hey, I'm sorry you feel that way, because that's, hey, no, if it's genuine, I'm like, that's how you feel. Okay, listen, I I'm sorry you feel that way, because I literally, I don't feel that way, but I am sorry that you feel that way. You know, And adding that empathy part, though, I feel like is that understanding, it's that connecting piece. It's like, okay, you know what? Let me take a step back. Let me see how, let me look through the glass lenses that you were looking through, um, to understand, to get. And I think here that's where you're growing a deeper connection. For a friend, I feel like I'm a empathize. For a stranger, I mean, I do feel, hey, wow, you know, I sympathize, because I'm like, hey, listen, I'm sorry that happened to you. Because I just think that empathy is takes to a whole deeper level. And I'm not saying you can't empathize with strangers. I'm not saying that. Okay, because for some people, you will empathize with, even though you don't know 'em. But yeah, here you know that trust can you know that the apology is genuine when they can empathize with you.
Yeah, and to your point, I think it's what Trey was saying. It's taking the if out. So it's not like I am sorry you feel that way because it's how you feel. That's a validation. The if is what makes you an
It
asshole.
makes it a
Like
Ooh.
it's literally
No, you're
one
right.
word that makes you. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the reason we are here is
Yeah.
because you made me feel this way.
You're saying it's a possible. It's not you ain't got a full book. It's a possible.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's not if we are here because you made me feel that way. So, just it's taking the if out. And that's what makes it two part. Like, because again, miscommunications happen, misunderstandings happen. So, acknowledge and then uh rectify, or acknowledge and then clear up. You know what I'm saying? Like that those two steps can save a lot of things. Like, you're right. This is how you feel. It could be misguided. This is, let me say it a different way so that you can understand what I was really trying to get at. Or, what you thought was this is not that. Like, it looked like one thing, but it's really this. So, again, over communication. The more you communicate, the less you leave to interpretation.
And if you have a problem with them communicating, then you probably ain't the one for them.
For sure.
I thought you was going to
Yeah.
say I got 2 words for you.
I probably should have.
Man, I got
But if you're not down with that, we do got 2 words for you.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But real talk though, they just probably not the one for you at all. And I mean, and I think it's okay. You should be able to, accept that ain't the right one. Now, yeah, I also think that, you should figure these things out. We should all figure these things out, before we entangle things like, children and marriage and things like that. But I think it's okay to find out that person's not right for you. Whoever that person is, I think it's okay to find out that they ain't the one. Leave it at that. Anyway, and this applies to not just romantic relationships. This is friendships too. Sometimes, just saying.
I this week I made probably one of the hardest teacher decisions that I made, which is to put one of the most talented voices I've ever taught out of my choir for next year. Because like I gave this child chance after chance after chance. I fought her parents. I fought her guidance counselors. Like, she needs a place. I'm willing to work with her. Like, I gave everything I could to the child for her to still do the same things to me year after year after year. And like, I literally had to fight myself because, I'm like, well, what happens to the child if I let her go? Because I see what she's doing while I still, like, have her with me. But like, at some point, it's got to be about them and not about me. Like, you can't want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves. So like, in this situation, she's not seeing the extent that I'm going for her and how much it hurts me to like go out on a limb to make stuff happen for her to not show up, on her end. So like, it literally does exist in all forms, of working relationships that we have.
100%.
Choices are made.
Facts. All right, let's move on to number 5.
Apology comes from a heart. Number 5, they connect with your needs. They're not just acting from their own perspective anymore. They've taken the time to understand what you
Diamond
need
for the,
and are showing up for you
dropping
in
gems
ways
in
that
the
align with
comments,
that.
Amen.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, let's before we go to 5. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. 'Cause this was from the third one. Triggers point out where we are not free. I'm mad I missed this. Thank you. Triggers give us the opportunity to see what we are not looking at, and it takes a lot of embracing and patience to be present through the healing. Yeah, yeah. Well, again, this is how you know if that person is the one for you or not, right? Because the person that's for you is going to be for you again in before they actually take the vow of in sickness and health, for better, for worse, et cetera, they will have shown you how for sickness and health, how for better or for worse, they are with you, right? I've been drinking. I'm slurring my words.
Uh,
Right? But they'll show you how much they are for you on that better or for worse tip. Um, because some people can't handle you at your worst, and I mean, and that's again, that's fine. That's fine. It's better to find that out now. All right. So anyway, somebody got to be able to handle your triggers, and then this other one about empathy. As we talked about it last time, empathy is seeing with the eyes of another. That's a gem right there. That's a major key. Seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another.
Come on, Hallmark card.
Hello. So somebody get her an Etsy shop. I've never been good at that because I've always been more of a fuck your feelings kind of guy. Like, because facts don't care about your feelings. And I still believe that, but I can understand your feelings. I might not agree. I might not feel the same, but I can understand why you feel that way. Or I should say, if I can understand why you feel that way, all right, cool. I might not agree. I might feel opposite. I might think whatever I think about how you feel, but I'll at least try to understand how you feel and why. You know what I mean?
It's so funny because feelings don't care about your facts.
Right. The feelings don't care about the facts. So here we are at this little crossroads of facts and feelings, and I'm taking Facts Avenue. Taking Facts Avenue. Every time. All right. They're able to connect with your needs and act in alignment with them rather than just from their own perception. Connect with your needs and act in alignment with them. That's huge right there. Kev, what's that? I see you making a face. What's that give you? What's that statement right there give you? What thought does that give you?
I'm processing.
True.
Yeah, come back to me.
I mean, I feel like we kind of touched on this already with the empathy, with the empathy part of the last one, because we went in a little heavy on that empathy, and that sounds like the empathy aspect where we're connecting. They're able to connect with your needs and act in alignment with them rather than just from their own perception. Like I said, I was talking about perception. You're stepping into that lens that they're looking through, and in a sense, you're walking with them, right? Alignment, right? You're walking with them through it. So not even just an understanding of it, but you're actively involved, being there with them through it. I think that's a step above, empathy when your actions are now, hey, I'm holding your hand and I'm right there with you, walking with you through this trial, this tribulation, through this trigger, through this, event. I'm here. And for me, I always felt like being present was more powerful than a phone call or a text, or I always felt like being in the present, showing up, um, was like more powerful because I'm actually there. I'm experiencing life with you, you know. And I feel like that's what this is. It's like you are side by side, like in the fight with the person.
Yeah, the best apology is change behavior. Um, and I just I just I think this is like kind of the culminating part. Um, in that like everything you do is to the benefit of the person you offended. And I know we've talked like uh, I'll call it smaller scale stuff. I try to think of like the most egregious thing, because we're talking about all kinds of trust. So, you know, us as men, you been with your wife for 10, 15 years. You got a 12-year-old son gets into an accident. The doctors need blood and they can't use yours, and that's when you find out that the 12-year-old is not your kid. Like, how, you know what I'm saying? So not only are you dealing with, you know what I'm saying, one of the hardest parts of your life because your child is hurting, but you're also dealing with the turmoil that, as you wanted to help what you thought was your child, that ain't your child. Like, that's broken trust. You know what I'm saying? Because the woman let you believe for, you know what I'm saying, 12 years plus 10 months of carrying a baby, that was your child. And, never like even said, hey, there's a chance this might not be your child. Like, where, so what is the timetable for me getting over that? Like, how do you get over that? Because still, every day after that, I'm seeing a child who I've loved as my own that's not my own. Like, that's a hurt that could exist every day. Like, how do we, you know how how does the offender connect with you and your needs to go forward? How do they get in alignment with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not just their own perception. Their perception, maybe, well, you have loved them as your child, so like just continue to love them. It ain't that simple, like, so it's a lot that I think about. But like, all of these are real, situations, real scenarios, real things that we've seen. If we've not seen it personally, we've read some stories about it. Like, there has to be some like genuine changed action, some like real remorse, some, time and space for you to like process what happened and then go and grow from it. Um, it's a lot.
Sometimes you need to walk off and take a moment
Yeah,
because you went to the most
but
egregious. But it happens. No, you.
Because I can't after that example. I nope. Because I'd have to somebody would have to get somebody had to get smurdered. I'm just
and like, I know the Maury's ain't real, but like in my mind I applaud the dudes, where they be like, well, what happens if it's not your kid? And they be like, well, I've been taking care of them as my own, so I'm gonna still love them and all that. Like, I listen, listen, I I don't know, because like every day I gotta look at you and know every day
fuck them kids.
And then you gotta look at the
and know.
Not just the kid though. You gotta look at the kid, but you also gotta look at the
And
spouse, and you're like,
You gotta look at the spouse. You
I
gotta look at the
every day.
spouse in your kid and the other face that you see in that kid that's not your spouse is the
no.
is you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you look just like your not me. I don't know, man. Some somebody might have to get
Spend the
get.
rest of their life making up. Spend the rest. Uh,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you make up for that.
Could,
Let me talk about triggers. So they have to be understanding of my triggers, right? Your face is my trigger. Your kid's face is my trigger.
Schmurder. Schmurder.
Worst example ever, or best example ever.
Because like broken trust exists in all kinds of realms.
Yeah, that's real.
You know, it's a kid who waits on the step for daddy to come pick them up, and he never shows. You know, like,
but
it exists in a lot of different ways.
it's even. I guess it hurt. Should I say this? How am I going to say this? Because I feel like it just hurts so much because it would hurt so much because there's how do I say this? Because that's only one way. It's like the reason it's like I don't even know how to say this. So just say it, right?
For sure.
Because listen. The woman is giving birth, so I mean, there's no way a man is gonna take a baster and be like, "Ha ha, I got you," you know. A turkey baster, psych. It's not my. Oh, let me not give ideas to the
I don't
internet.
know, people are a little weird these days, man.
Yeah, let me not give ideas. But I'm just saying, I like that, like that hurts. Like, sheesh.
She let that
12,
nigga in.
13, 18 years. 18 years?
And it's 18th birthday.
Find out it wasn't his?
Somebody gotta die. Sorry, yo.
It's
Sorry.
murder.
Somebody gotta go.
Yeah. Trust, man, you know. Which is why I firmly believe that, before birth certificates are signed, like DNA tests should happen. They poke and prod your kid fresh out of the womb anyway. Go ahead, take a little bit of that, take a little bit of, a little bit of that, and just get it out the way.
The only reason women, because for the most part I've only heard women say that they don't want it. Not I'm gonna say the only reason women don't want it is because they know that a lot of them will get caught cheating. A lot of them will get caught up. Not all of them, but a lot of them will get caught up.
Yeah, and again, I realize me and my son's mother are not together, but like I will say I'm fortunate. I'll count my blessings. I never had a doubt in my mind that that was my child, and every suspicion was erased when the nurse pulled him out of her stomach after C-section, and she literally looked down at him and looked at me, and she just pointed to me, and I was like, cool, like,
right.
I mean, fresh out covered in all kinds of bodily fluids. She was like, yeah, that's actually yours.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Zero denial at this point.
Yeah, I'm about to say I've been fortunate too. And my kids' genes been strong, my genes been strong in my kids, I should say. But man,
Yeah.
but in that scenario, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Murder.
RJ is
Yeah,
definitely a light skinned me, so
For sure.
definitely light skin you. You as Larry Bird.
Bro, after keeping him this weekend, yeah, this rich kid,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Had all these tiny terrors over at the house. uh, anyway,
Anytime
and that's what
people
I'm saying, yo. If you we gotta have these tiny terrorists in our house for 5, 10, 15, 18 years, and then find out that said tiny terrorist ain't mine. Now somebody gotta go.
Everybody got to go.
Everybody gotta go. Domestic terrorism. Terrorism in my house.
Yeah,
Everybody got to go. Everybody got to be a crater.
I'm burning the house down while
do
everybody.
you, do you think part of the people that go through that know though? Like there's some inkling.
I mean, there's some people who are genuinely trusting. Like, and for what it's worth, I'm that person. Like, until I would rather think the best of people. So until you like give me a reason to think otherwise, like I'm going to take you at your word. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and I understand why people are apprehensive and, approach things with caution. I would rather not live that way. So like, I trust you till you give me a reason not to. I'm open until you shut me down. I don't want to approach it the other way because I'm too hard to open up. Like if it's shut, it's shut. If I don't
Yeah.
trust you, I don't trust you. So like, I would rather lead optimistic than work to optimism.
No, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. I'm just saying if you get an inkling, do
Yeah.
you shut that away versus like, you know, eh, homeboy ate and still don't look like, I'm just saying if you get an inkling,
Mm.
I don't know. For me, if I get an inkling, I'm like, and that might be my analytical nature. I'm like, wait a minute.
If I question one thing, I gotta question everything.
But
Just
I hear
saying.
you, Kev. I hear you though. I hear you. No, I do hear you.
But I understand you. Because this world is a little ghetto.
Cause look here.
It's a little ghetto.
Sometimes a lot of ghetto. Oftentimes a lot of ghetto.
Oftentimes, quite the ghetto.
It's definitely in the ghetto right now.
In the
In ghetto.
Mm.
In ghetto. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
My bad.
All right. No, that's good, man. Shoot. I think we got time for one more. I think we got time for one more.
Let's
It
taco.
should be taco about it. Oh shit. Hold up. Hold on. We live.
Speaking of tacos, while you get that,
Hold up. Wait a minute.
hey, them little chicken nuggets from Taco Bell is fire.
For real?
Yeah, they like breaded in like tortilla chips and then fried. Like Taco Bell is they up on some stuff. Nacho fries
Hey.
with the little chicken nuggets. Like, man, I ain't. Hey,
Well, speaking of tacos,
giggity.
Yeah.
yeah.
Put my beef in your taco.
I feel like it was Green Turtle. Was it Green Turtle? They had some shrimp tacos or something like that.
Hmm.
They had shrimp
I
tacos.
think that was Green Turtle.
It was Green Turtle. They had some shrimp
I think
tacos,
so.
and they were so delicious. Okay, they had these shrimp tacos, and they had this drink, and it's probably the reason why RJ's here. But I'm just saying, like, it was delicious. It was super delicious. Like, I think that might have been like my first shrimp taco. Man, it was banging. It was banging.
Tell your kids the shrimp taco was so good, I made her your mama. That's it, boy.
Ooh,
All right. What up? What you got?
Oh, listen, we were talking food stuff real quick. Because after graduation, some of my department, went out. The farmhouse in Gambros, everything is farm to table. Oh my God. I I tried so many things today and everything was perfect. Chesapeake deviled eggs, two different types of pizza. One had pulled pork on it, the other was pepperoni and sausage. Um, Fries delicious. They did a brookie with ice cream top of it, delicious. Cornbread, eh, oh yeah, they did that. They did that.
Where was this at again?
The farmhouse in Gambros. So like if you've been in Gambros, like the Green Turtle used to be at the front, like off the main
Yeah,
road. Moved the Green
yeah.
Turtle back and opened up a place called, it was overpriced and like just okay. But then they closed that and now it's called the Farmhouse and it's everything is farm to table and they're just it's an immaculate establishment. They do live entertainment Tuesday,
Oh,
Friday, Saturday. Yeah, everything was fire. Smoked. I had an old fashioned too. Delicious.
There you go.
pull up Gambrills.
There you go.
Yeah, we might have to make that a trip and go check them out for real. That sounds like a move
Oh,
right there.
Hmm.
All right, let's get this. Let's do this one more real quick. We'll do the either or. We'll let y'all decide our fate to end this evening. Excuse me, to end the evening. So here we go. Found these two things on the internet. Let's figure out what we're going to talk about. We got a video about something that men struggle with and a video about something that women struggle with. Something that men struggle with and something that women struggle with. Choose wisely. What do men struggle with? What do women struggle with?
It's
Oh
bros.
boy.
It's bros posture for me.
oh,
It, it's dude's posture for me. What women struggle with is getting my vote. Look at her face at him.
you say what women struggle with?
Look at how she's
Man,
looking at him.
Listen, I think I've seen this one, so I'm kind of cheating here because I haven't seen the other one. But I feel like I want to do the what women struggle with. And however, I feel like I want to do this video before my wife sees it because I want to do this one because I feel.
oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Fellas, try this. Try this and see if yours can do it. Here we go.
All right, everybody. I just wanted to get on here and show you guys something that I've seen that women can't do, especially my wife.
What? What? Is it a sport? Something basketball related? Say it then. What? You think I can't make a three pointer? You think I can't dunk? Because you can't either. So is it something that you can do that I can't do? That? What? Is it something related to sports? Wrestling? What? You just gonna stand there and be quiet for nothing?
Yes.
Yes,
Breathe heavy? What? Are you just trying to stare them down? Babe, I'm tired of standing here. You wasted my time. I could be doing a bunch of other things right now. Say what you gonna say. You just scared to say something because you know I can do it.
Hey yo.
Say it!
Dang.
So we just gonna stand here and look at the camera. What can you do that I can't do? What can you do that I can't do? Sleep in? What? That was it? Sleeping? What?
How am I gonna show him I can sleep in?
Well, you're just standing there. That's about the only other thing you can do.
If you know, you know. That's all I'm saying.
If
You
you
didn't even do nothing. You just sat there and be quiet. You try to say you can be quiet. Babe, oh, okay, no, before you turn off that camera, he do the most talking in this marriage. No.
All right, everybody.
Oh man, hilarious.
Oh,
What I say? All men want
Oh,
sex,
hilarious.
sandwiches, and silence.
Oh man, hilarious.
Oh,
That was good.
oh, man.
just because you quiet, she think it's something wrong.
Mm.
You can see it on her face. Like, you can really see it on her face. Nothing was computing. He's like, why is he so quiet? Why is he so calm? Why does he look so peaceful? Something's wrong here.
Mercy. Heaven help us all.
That was funny. I needed that laugh. Hey man, listen, hey fellas, I recommend y'all try this. Try this with yours and see, one, how long it takes her to get it, or two, if she could do it in the first place. I'm curious. Let us know, man. Let us know what the results was with your wife. Hopefully it's not that, you end up like the president of France and get punched in the eye by her. All right, anyway. All right, okay. I'm off the rails. I'm getting out of here before we get in trouble. All right, we done. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. As always, before I get us in trouble, we're gonna be done with it, man. Kev, take us out, bro.
That's because of the day that it was. I want to again shout out all of my graduates. They shouldn't even be watching this, but I want them to feel the spirit of my love. So one time for them. It's an amazing group of people that we're sending out into the world. So hopefully they can help us to make this world a better place. Love what you do. Love on the people that are around you. To my best friend, I want you to know that you are in my prayers. You're my whole family. So just everybody, let people know. Check in on your people, because you just never know what they need, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is a great time. And I appreciate y'all fellas. Appreciate all the people that pull up in the comments. Love y'all. And we got more drink to finish. So here's to y'all and the rest of your nights.
Thank you guys for joining us. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share. That if you subscribe, that way you get our notifications. We'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. We talked really a lot about trust, and so go ahead and work on building that trust. Whether you got to build trust within yourself, with trusting others, with and then working on your relationships. And time is short. So I'm gonna piggyback off of what Kev said. Tell those that you love them. Not only that, time is short. Take action, and make some things happen. Time is the only manifestation of truth. So let's get this thing going so you can find out the truth about things. Love y'all, man. We're going to see you next time. We're going to be having some more fun. And this triple wood is kicking in. No Diddy. And y'all have a good night. We will catch y'all next time, man. Peace, love, and hair grease. All right. Y'all be easy.
Boy, that cracked me up right there. Yeah, no Diddy, man, no Diddy. We not on that. We not on that. Now, there may be a bunch of other ones that were, but We are not part of that brigade. Anyway, hey, man, listen, we appreciate y'all as always. Thank you again. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to talk to holler at us, and subscribe also. Man, we definitely got more stuff coming down the road. We want to know what y'all think as always. Excuse me. These are just our thoughts. As we always say, these are just our thoughts. By all means, tell us what you think about everything. Again, we appreciate y'all, man. Keep your head on the swivel. There is a war for your mind out there, so believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Be very careful out there. Stay skeptical. Stay informed. Question the narrative. Question everything. Because if they lie to you about one thing, they lie to you about anything. I'm just saying. That's it, man. We getting up out of here. We appreciate every last one of you as always. Joining us for this King Talk. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I got a little bit to finish in this cup, a little bit to finish in that cup. We out of here.
Platypus is a metaphor for whatever's keeping you down. Like corporations are a platypus. Government's a platypus. Your teacher is a platypus. My teacher is a panda. Society is a platypus. My parents are a platypus. The media is a platypus. All this propaganda that we all got a platypus controlling us. It's me!